Hey guys, welcome back to the Made to Explore channel. My name's David, and today I'm going to be testing out Renogy's 200 amp hour Pro model battery. I'm going to be freezing this battery, I'm going to be submerging it, I'm going to be doing a short circuit test, I'm going to be doing a Bluetooth test, and a capacity test, so stay tuned. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to check out my simple solar guide. It is perfect for anyone getting into solar. Maybe they're installing a solar system in their camper van, their RV, their trailer, off-grid cabin. It is perfect for you, so check that out in the description below. This battery is $950 US right now, but as always with all Renogy products, make sure to use the discount code MADETOTRAVEL when you go to checkout and you'll get an extra discount. Now, I already reviewed the 100 amp hour Pro model, but I wanted to recap all the incredible features that these Pro model batteries have. So this battery has Bluetooth, it has heating, it has short circuit protection, it has overcharge protection, it has undercharge voltage protection, it has everything that you need. Honestly, it's the Pro model. It has it all. It also has a UL94V0 flame retardant rating, which means if this battery catches fire, which hopefully that never happens, the case is built to actually put the flames out. If you heat this battery up enough and it does catch fire or there is fire surrounding it, the case will melt. It is also vibration resistant. This guy is going to be one of the best models out there for handling all those rough impacts. You can charge or discharge this battery at up to 200 amp, and it comes with a 7-year warranty and is good for 5,000 charge cycles at 80% DOD. It is corrosion resistant and it only weighs 50 pounds. We are going to be submerging this battery because it does have an IP67 waterproof rating. If you accidentally drop this thing in the lake while you're carrying it to your fishing boat, no problems there. Another nice feature that Renogy's putting in all their new Bluetooth projects is OTA, which stands for over-the-air updates. So if there's any settings that they want to tweak after sending this model out, they can do that through your app. It comes in the box with 2 sets of terminal bolt. They are M8. One is 12 millimeters and one is 16 millimeters. So if you're putting a few wires onto these, it's nice that they give you the extra bolt. I tend to just put one set of wires and then connect it to a bus bar where I have all of my connections. One of the downsides of this is you can only connect this battery in parallel, unfortunately. You can't hook it up to have a 24 volt or 48 volt system. It's only going to be good for 12 volt systems. The battery has been sitting in this chest freezer for about 3 days, so let's open it up and see what the temperature's at. Whew. It is getting all sorts of cold warnings there. Well, it looks like we're sitting at minus 17, almost minus 18 degrees Celsius. So this battery is freezing. Next step, plugging it into the inverter and hitting it with some charge and seeing what happens. As you guys can see here, got the battery connected. It is nice and frosted. I have the Renogy Bluetooth shunt here. I'm going to be screen recording on my phone so we can see what's going on with the charging. And I got the new inverter installed here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the inverter and hit this with some charge. And the battery should shut down, not accept charge, but send that power to the heating modules to heat it back up, and we're going to see how long it takes. Gone ahead, turned on the inverter, and we have an error for the temperatures, but there's no amps going in, which is great. Heating module status is on, so it's about 10 after 5. So let's see how long this takes to heat the battery up from minus 17. But the battery does seem to be working correctly. It's turning off and protecting those lithium cells, which is exactly what it should be doing. It's 6:22. That took an hour and 12 minutes to heat the battery up to 3 degrees, which is when it resets and will start charging. That honestly worked perfectly. We're getting 90 amps from the inverter into the battery right now. Honestly, I thought it would take longer. That's pretty impressive. We still have a low temperature warning on there, but I'm assuming that that will disappear fairly quickly. As you guys can see on the app, it's time for a capacity test. I have a little space heater going, and I'm going to track how much power is pulled out of this battery. It's going to take quite a while because I'm only pulling a little over 13 amps, But as you guys can see on the app, it says I have a total capacity of 210.31 amp hours, which is 10 amp hours over what the battery is actually rated for, which is really nice, like the Renogy does that. But we are gonna see how much capacity we actually get out of this battery. It's gonna take probably 12 hours, so let's check back in tomorrow and I will let you know. All right, so as you can see, the heater is no longer working. Battery is completely dead, and I am getting a reading that I use 2.518 kilowatt hours, which translates to 209.8 amp hours of 12 volt power. So very close to what the app is telling me and that Renogy sent the battery at, which I'm really impressed with. Very close to what it actually says. As you can see, the battery is completely submerged in water there. So let's pull out my phone here and see how it's doing. All right, so we are only sitting at 2% charge right now because I just did the capacity test, but seems to be just fine. Cells are all balanced, not getting any errors, so it seems to be working just fine, which is pretty impressive actually. We're gonna let this sit for 10 to 15 minutes and then we're gonna pull the top off the case there and make sure there's no water inside. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes. Battery's still connecting fine to Bluetooth. Everything seems fine. So let's take it out of this bath, take the cover off and see if there's any water inside. To take the cover off, they have kind of a bunch of little covers here on the side. They actually went with a T20 Torx bit, and there are 8 Torx in total here. All right guys, the moment of truth here. Let's see, any water? Nada. Absolutely no water inside there. That is super impressive. Okay, so there is no water inside this case. There is a little bit in there around that bolt hole, but that's only from the water being in like the cavity up top and then slipping down. So other than that, there is nothing. Very impressive. And I'm sure it's due to that white seal on top there that they have running around the entire outside. I just connected the battery up to my system to make sure everything was still working good. And I'm currently hitting it with some charge. We're getting about 93 amps into it because it was sitting at like 2%. Now it's at 3%. And everything seems to be functioning just fine after those tests. This seems like the perfect time to do a Bluetooth distance test. I'm gonna do a real life situation here. We're gonna leave the battery connected. I'm gonna close the doors to the back of the van and I'm just gonna start walking down my alleyway and see how far I get before the Bluetooth cuts out. We are right beside the van, no problems, and I'm just gonna start walking backwards and see how far we can get from here. Oh, disconnected. Okay, so let's see when we reconnect here and reconnected. So I'm not all that far from the van, probably about 5 or 6 feet to be honest, and I'm connected, but I know I've been in the driver's seat. It's fine. I've walked around the van. It's totally fine. So let's do it with the doors open and see how much better it is. All right, so now the doors are open and we're gonna try this test again. I'm just gonna start walking backwards down the alley and see how far we can get before the Bluetooth disconnects. Wow, this is really impressive actually. Still no problems and disconnected. Okay, so let's see where we reconnect. Oh, reconnected right about there. So I'd say I'm probably like 50 feet away. So that's quite a distance actually. That's really good. I've gotten a ton of people recently being like, the Bluetooth on the Renogy components suck. If you have a lot of stuff in between your device and the battery or whatever component it might be, it's gonna block the signal for sure. But if it's open, it does a really good job. Just be careful what you're putting in between your solar stuff and you when you want to be able to hook them up to Bluetooth. But the Renogy products in general do a really good job of actually throwing a Bluetooth signal. Okay, so the last test I'm going to be doing is a short circuit test. And I got the app open here, so I'm basically just going to be touching positive to negative. The BMS will shut the battery down and it will reset, but we're going to see what that looks like. So prepare yourself for a little spark. Probably should have been wearing rubber gloves for that, but you know. The battery obviously saw that as an overcurrent. Regardless, the battery's working as it should. It saw it as a short current. So let's see. I'm gonna try and tap these together again and see if it sparks. And a little melting action on top there. So let's see. Discharge overcurrent warning. All right, so now we're getting error 12. So let's see what happens here. Go into it, press OK. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I thought I actually damaged the battery there. I thought it was screwed. I thought it was done. I was like, wow, it actually worked. But I hooked it back up and I plugged in the inverter and I'm charging it, and it's fine. It just needs a minute to reset, it seems like, but nothing was happening when I plugged everything in at first and hit it with charge. I was actually getting a red indicator light on my inverter and I was like, oh no, the battery's done. But it's actually working again. No problem at all. It just needed a couple minutes to reset from that over discharge current from short circuiting it, and it's fine. So that's awesome. This is a super durable battery. You can freeze this battery, you can submerge it in water for 15 minutes, you can short circuit it, and it protects itself. This battery is awesome. Couldn't recommend it enough. Be sure to use that Made to Travel discount code if you guys want to purchase this battery. Unreal. It's perfect. I wish they just had a 400 amp hour model, because I'm still using my old Renogy Rego one, which is awesome. Still recommend it. That guy doesn't have as many features as this Pro model. So, and it's flame retardant and vibration resistant. I don't even think you can purchase a more durable battery. Let me know in the comments below if you have a battery that is more durable than this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications if you are into solar as much as I am, and I'll see you guys in the next one.